Think of this as my visually retouching era. So, I'm not done making videos, I'm just not gonna be making new vids. I'm just gonna be remaking some old vids that really need to be remade. But hey, now that I'm in HD, I just may have to extend my remaking era like tenfold. I just might redo my entire channel for all I know, now that I have this.
What up? Yeah, 10 years ago. That is crazy. It's actually been more than that. That was 10 and a half years ago. But regardless, it has been a long time. It's crazy how much has changed and how far I've come in the last 10 years. Anyway, what up? It's Shankster94, and this is a trailer for my upcoming second remaking era. So, what you just saw were snippets of my first remaking era. And the overall point was to transition from standard definition to high definition. Because before I begun that era, I had several videos that were in standard definition, regardless if the game was HD capable or not, because back then I had limited money and resources, and all I could afford back then were standard definition capture cards. So there were a lot of pixelated garbage on the channel, and around that time in that permanent subscriber notice, I had gotten my hands on an HD capture card. So I went back and remade several videos on my channel. Not every single video, though, on my channel. Just ones that could easily receive a visual tune-up based on the platforms that those games were on at the time. So, it consisted mostly of Resident Evil 4, 5, 6, and any other game that were on HD-compatible consoles. So yeah, that was the whole point of the first remaking era, and that era lasted several months to close to a year, if I recall correctly. Now, if any of you have been following me for a very significant amount of time, such as like 10 years or longer, then you know what that was all about. Well, now, come 2023, as I'm recording this, right on the cusp of 2024, actually, so you could say it's been almost 11 years, but we're going into 2024, and as of now, I've been in the 4K game of content creating for close to a couple years now. And at this point, as you can see with these two massive devices behind me, I now have the hardware as well as the software, you can't see that, but it's there, to completely overhaul my entire channel and start producing any and all content upwards of 4K. Once again, my first remaking era was a pure resolution increase from between 240 and 480p up to 720p and 1080p, both HD formats. What this upcoming remaking era is going to be about is the transition from HD to 4K, as well as a frame rate increase for a majority of my content. There were quite a few games that got a frame rate buff when it got ported to the latest consoles, and especially if you play it on PC Steam, which, as of now, I have basically every Resident Evil game that's available on Steam, and then all the rest of the Resident Evil games I can emulate on the PC and have an internal upscaled resolution. So this remaking era is not only gonna be much longer, it's gonna cover basically every single game in the franchise, not just some of the more modern ones. So there is a lot to be done, and there is so much potential for improvement. So what I'm about to show you guys is a snippet from every single game and what it will potentially look like when I remake all the content for it. This is going to include both weapon reviews and melee move showcases. So I'm really excited to get started with this. It's been something I've been planning for a very long time. So I hope you're just as excited as I am. We're gonna be in this for quite a while, probably longer than the first remaking era, just due to the fact that I'm basically going through the whole entire franchise again. You could almost think of this as a reboot of my entire channel. That's basically what I'm doing here. I'm starting anew with a lot of standards and the best hardware I can afford at my disposal, and I'm gonna start off fresh, and every video I crank out from here on is going to be visually high fidelity, and the amount of detail I'm gonna put into these reviews is gonna be unlike anything you've we've seen, at least from back then. It's gonna be an amazing overhaul, and I can't wait for you guys to witness it. So without further ado, I've said enough. Now enjoy the samples of the upcoming second Remaking Era from yours truly. Peace out.
You're a bit of a mess-up. Chris, take a piece of the action. Come on.
This way.
Boy, have your attention, boy. You're about to see something wonderful.
Don't shoot!
Get down!